We got some Fallout news and updates. Let's see.
As of right now, there are 4 confirmed new releases on the horizon when it comes to Fallout. The first and nearest one is likely to be the Fallout 4 next-gen version, as well as the Fallout TV show. Last year, Bethesda very casually announced that Fallout 4 would be getting a free next-gen update in 2023, and the details on this were truly exciting. Higher frame rates, perhaps you can finally play it over 60 FPS, but also...
This sounds kind of bad, honestly, because let's be real. If Bethesda announces an update like this, it's probably just in the preparation for the paid mod cash shop, right? And that means that we're probably not getting a new Fallout game anytime soon. That's not good.
things like 4K gameplay, bug fixes, and even some bonus Creation Club content, which, if Bethesda takes a card out of Skyrim's book, this is likely going to be a bunch of the old, unreleased Creation Club content that could genuinely make a nice mini DLC with this free update to the game. But then, over the course of 2023, Bethesda was just radio silent, or at least they were up until a couple of weeks ago when it was revealed that the Fallout 4 next-gen version would be delayed into 2024. It seems pretty likely that this will now be dropping around the same time as the Fallout TV show, and perhaps even include...
Oh yeah, the Fallout TV show, you know, the thing that everyone is worried about because there's a huge chance that this is gonna be garbage. Because it takes absolutely no pre-existing lore into account. Because Fallout has very, very shady lore, to be honest. There's almost nothing concrete about it. Every Brotherhood iteration doesn't follow the other Brotherhood iterations. Their goals are arbitrary and stupid most of the time. Like, Fallout has a lot of lore, don't get me wrong. But most of the lore that anyone's gonna say that they like has been probably retconned already at some point. Yeah, the Fallout timeline does not really make sense. So this show, it has an uphill battle to be good. I'm not gonna lie, it has a very, very steep uphill battle to be good.
Include some tie-ins with the Fallout TV show, as over the last couple of weeks we have seen a major media blitz for the Fallout TV show, including a gigantic booth at CCXP, along with a major new trailer being revealed and then a slightly edited version of that same trailer with a couple of new scenes. And with the show releasing on April 12th, that gives Bethesda a healthy amount of time to polish this next-gen update for Fallout 4 and maybe even add in some TV show integrations. CDPR saw a...
I really wonder how they're gonna handle power armor. Because power armor, by the way, lore-wise, and this has never been retconned, makes you essentially a walking tank. Yeah. A walking tank that can jump from high above and do all of those things. Except when in some situations you jump with the tank armor and then it breaks your legs and paralyzes you. Which is also lore. I know, but again, this is just how good Fallout lore is. There's one thing that's lore accurate, and it contradicts the completely other thing that's lore accurate, and there's no reason for the contradiction to even exist. It is what it is. But I really wonder how they're gonna, handle power armor. Because again, if you shoot a rocket at, power armor, and you hit it dead square center, well, the power armor is not gonna even get damaged. But the funny part is, you know that people are 80% liquid? Yeah, after that they're 100% liquid. The armor maybe survives, but the person in there should probably be turned into a juice can. So it is what it is.
Next-gen update for Fallout 4 and maybe even add in some TV show integrations. CDPR saw a gigantic surge.
Unless the power armor is made of vibranium.
In Cyberpunk 2077 players and sales when their show Edgerunners dropped. And it wasn't just a surge in players, this was absolutely gigantic for Cyberpunk and CD Projekt Red. It led to their best Q3 in the company's history, that was only now beat recently with the release of Phantom Liberty this Q3. So you have to imagine...
You know what's gonna happen with Bethesda? The show is gonna come out, people are gonna make fun of the show, or if the show is good, people are gonna go and play the games, and then they're gonna play the games and say wow, this is shit. Wow, this is disappointing. I mean, I'm a winner no matter what. The show is good and I like it. The show is bad, well, we can make fun of it like Starfield, okay? It's a never-ending loop of victories.
Imagine Bethesda saw that and recognized that. They want to create a similar degree of success with Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and the Fallout TV show. So I wouldn't be shocked if the next-gen update was delayed specifically to make it a more substantial crossover event, which means that Fallout 4 is likely to get at least a decent-sized update next year. And I mean, hey, they're already adding in some promotional materials into both Fallout 76 and Fallout Shelter. Although unfortunately, this update is almost certainly going to take
I mean, yeah, like 5 people are gonna see that update. Nice.
Toll on the Fallout community, as mods will definitely break. The last major Fallout 4 update was in late 2019, that being one of the Creation Club updates, and really the last Creation Club update. This next-gen update will likely break some of the very large mods out there, but I would fully expect a mini mod apocalypse to occur here, as users are left waiting weeks to months for some of their favorite mods to get updated to the new version. As the simple reality is, many mod authors for Fallout 4 have moved on now. There likely will be this huge influx of new and returning players, but just make sure you
Wait, is this NPC doing smart things or stupid things? I can't actually tell.
protect your load order because things are definitely going to break. There's also been a lot of speculation that Fallout 4 is going to get this new creation system. Even just this past week, Creation Club credits for Fallout 4 were actually renamed and repriced to Fallout 4 Creations and Creation Credits. And when you see Fallout 4 Creations, it really looks like something is coming. But in reality, I think this is just going to be to keep things in line with what they're offering for Skyrim.
I
Because
told
with
you.
these credits, it wasn't just a name change. There was also a
I
price
told you, again, Starfield is gonna be pay to win at some point. It is what it is, boys. Deal with it.
change. These credits got slightly more expensive, so I think Bethesda is just carrying over that specific change to Fallout 4 and carrying
Nice.
over the name. Because while I
Nice.
did hear about this new marketplace or creations feature coming to Skyrim early last year and even made a video well before it released, I have not heard any similar rumors about it coming to Fallout 4. So perhaps it will come to Fallout 4, but at least as of right now, I am somewhat doubtful. But even just independent of that, it really seems like Fallout fans will be
Someone, by the way, mentioned this about the Skyrim guns. Did they just use reload animations from crossbows? Nice one, Bethesda. You added gun bows.
eating good with the release of the Fallout TV show. This is shaping up to be a very faithful adaptation, or at least faithful to some of the design styles you could see in Fallout 4, but the TV show will also clearly be exploring its
Yeah, I mean, again, calling the TV show faithful in any way is just super sus in my opinion.
own ideas as well. Vault 33 is going to be the main vault in the show, but there's also a Vault 32, and hey, even a third vault we haven't seen yet, as it was recently described how the 3 vaults are connected one to the other, and they have a distinct purpose,
Why?
which we'll come to understand during the season, which hopefully from the
A
executive
distinct purpose? Dude, you know when your game's lore is completely off its rocker? When people need to make conspiracy theories and iceberg theories about how Fallout... Okay, so this is one of the more interesting theories about Fallout, right? It's the idea that the vaults are stupid intentionally. That's not just bad Bethesda writing, because again, this is my idea of why Fallout works. Bethesda is a bunch of idiots who can't write anything to save their lives. So they tried a really serious story with Fallout, and well, considering everything they do turns into a joke, well, Fallout just magically worked because it's a complete dystopia technically of, you know, the most crazy things ever. And the writers try to be really serious about it, and that's why Fallout just works. Because the writers failed in the right way, because they're incompetent to write anything serious. So there we have it. This is why Fallout works. Because it's a dystopia that makes no sense. And one of the ways that people try to justify the vault system being just random blabberings of a madman is the idea that Vault-Tec wanted to go to space. That's the big idea. And that these experiments conducted in the vaults were to see what happens with people and how people will react in long periods of isolation. Which is blatantly the most stupidest theory that you can ever come up with. If you're trying to conduct scientific experiments about these things, there literally does not... concepts like, for example, the vault where they needed to sacrifice one person every year or something like that. What's the point of that vault? What's the point of that vault when those people say that they're not gonna do it? The vault opens up and says, "You did the American thing." It makes no sense. This is how far you need to go to make the Fallout lore even make a single lick of sense. You need to create crazy conspiracy theories about it that make no logical sense at all. So good luck, Fallout TV show. You're gonna need it.
Producer's perspective as a fan of the games fits kind of deliciously into the larger world of the games. The Fallout TV show overall was concepted as more of a Fallout 5 as opposed to just a adaptation of the game. We set things after. We kind of told ourselves this is Fallout 5. This is just another installation, and we're starting with fresh snow, which genuinely makes me excited. From lots of the trailers, we see the familiar, the Brother to Steel, back on full display, and that's there to get fans of the series excited. But it does seem like the show will expand and add onto the lore as well. And with an April release date, I think this means that even relatively early into 2024, Fallout fans should be eating pretty good. We don't actually know when the Fallout 4 Next Gen update may drop, but to me it seems pretty likely it'll be around the same time, in the first couple of quarters of 2024. But that other Fallout game also just got a pretty massive update. With its 2024 plans, as Fallout 76 will finally get a map expansion in 2024. And from what they've shown thus far, I'm honestly pretty hyped for this.
Wait, what?
But that other Fallout game also just got a pretty massive update. With its 2024 plans, as Fallout 76 will finally get a map expansion in 2024. And from what they've shown thus far, I'm honestly...
Huh, this looks interesting. But I say interesting, but it's easy to make things like this look interesting because the reality is Fallout 76 is still shit. Okay? Don't buy it, don't play it. It's a disappointing pile of garbage.
Pretty hyped for this. And this is the first time in a long time that I've been hyped for some Fallout 76 content. Just a few weeks ago, Fallout 76 got its Atlantic City update. This implementing a new expedition taking place in Atlantic City, and yeah, it's fine. There are a couple of new missions, and you spend some time in a totally new and distinct feeling locale, but it is that familiar expedition formula. So you're really just here for the mission and then you leave. Fortunately, in just a few months, in March, part 2 of this is coming, described as having story-driven quests as well as more open areas to explore, and you'll even take on a completely new cryptid with the Jersey Devil. But that isn't what got me talking about Fallout 76 again, as slightly later in this article they describe how later in 2024 the Fallout 76 map will finally be expanding southward into a new area known as Shenandoah, and this will be coming with a totally new questline, new factions, and new rewards. And for once, it really feels like we are getting a proper Fallout 76 expansion. Based on the shared concept image, you can see a few things. The new area...
Yeah, it's still not gonna save anything. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, again, it's still gonna be a buggy mess. It's still gonna have clippy and shitty things. It's still gonna make no sense. And the gameplay is still gonna be rotten to the core. The most disappointing thing about Fallout 76 is probably the fact that you're supposed to play it with other people, because the reality with other people is Fallout 76 has only two kinds of people playing it: people who don't even know what's Fallout and are trying it, and people who are literally level 700, or the noobs who are only level 300, which is not easy to get, honestly. There are ways to power level and whatnot, but it's still pretty bad, okay? So it's only people who don't know what Fallout is who are gonna get disappointed, and it's people who are so addicted and so gone in the sauce that there's no way of saving them. And, well, when you play online and you do an event with any of these big guys, you get a ton of experience, you get a ton of good gear, Fallout 76 has a way to hack yourself to the end game in literally a matter of hours if you just Google it enough, okay? It's such a disappointment from just, a gameplay standpoint. It's like power leveling is permeated through all of this game. And it's even sometimes worse. Whenever you enter the vicinity of a player, and you don't even see them, you don't even actually know that they are relatively even near you. They could be like, 2 map objectives away from you, which is a pretty big distance, by the way, in this game. And they're level 5 billion, and they affected the levels of all the creatures where you are. And now you die to a red roach while wearing power armor. It is what it is.
Focused around Shenandoah National Park, which is a real-world park in Virginia, but also Vault 63 will finally be implemented into the game. Vault 63 has been in the game since release, but it never actually opened. Inside, it was just in complete disarray. It had active fires, but also references to a reactor. Although, of course, all of this is several years old now, so who knows which direction they specifically take this vault in. On this concept map, it does look like it has the scorched visual, so at least part of that design will likely continue, but of course, the big standout from
Oh,
this
great, Scorched, the enemies that everyone so much loves.
concept art is the visual of
By the way, if you're asking me what's the difference between Scorched, Raider, Super Mutant, or, a Red Roach, I don't know. I literally don't know. They all feel the same.
this red beam causing some kind of electrical storm, and it honestly reminds me a bit of St. Elmo's fire in a weird way. As of right now, it isn't entirely clear who or what this is. But at first glance, I think this almost looks like it's new in terms of a new faction or some kind of new lore being explored, which does get me excited. Hopefully we finally see a questline exploring some kind of higher tech but completely new group to the area. And if anything,
Well, one thing you can already tell from the concept art is the fact that the Vault 76 door, not Vault 63 door is... Oh, you can see it. It's right here. And you can tell that it's blown off from this direction here. Whatever happened, blew it open, okay? And it fell here and hit the ground here and then slid. Or tumbled, most likely. That's what we see here.
to the area. And if anything, I almost get Big Mountain vibes from all of this. And it does sound like we are finally getting some more proper questing content. We haven't seen stuff like this for Fallout 76 in literal years. And last time around, they really focused on more Brotherhood of Steel questing, which although fun, we have had a lot of that in the Fallout franchise, and exploring something new with Fallout 76 gets me excited. Although this could just end up actually being more Brotherhood of Steel content, the Brotherhood of Steel occupies Atlas Observatory in Fallout 76, which was running experiments on weather control. This building isn't Atlas Observatory, but this definitely could be weather control going on. Either way, the visuals here definitely look like it'll have that nice cross of wacky technology, but also dark future, and that does get me excited. And this expansion could even be coming sooner than you think. It seems like Fallout 76 is operating.
This expansion is going to completely break any shreds of the lore that Fallout has left.
In almost a dual team style, where Double 11 and Bethesda Game Studios work on content together, but also work on content separately. So it seems like this new content is largely being made by Double 11, who previously worked on Nuka World on Tour, while Bethesda Game Studios is largely handling the Atlantic City content. Double 11 is made up of several former mod authors, and having former modders being able to create new stories in the Fallout universe does get me pretty excited. But when it comes to Fallout 76, even in 2024, there are still reasons to keep your hype in check. Fallout 76 has had consistent problems with content being small, and even the most recent update released in quite a...
Okay. Some of you are probably wondering what the hell are you saying here. Well, let me give you an example what's currently happening here. You know how there are these open world events in Diablo 4? You know, the ones that have orange circles around them? Those ones. The ones that you pretty much never do. Welcome to Fallout 76, where the whole game is literally only those things. Ta-da! Enjoy.
with content being small, and even the most recent update released in quite a buggy state, requiring a hotfix almost immediately after. And just in general, they decided to break up the Atlantic City update into multiple parts, which definitely feels more like them drip-feeding the content to us, as opposed to something that was genuinely warranted by such an abundance of new content. Bethesda has seen some major departures lately, like just this year, the design director on Fallout 76 left the company, the studio director at Bethesda Game Studios Dallas left last week. Bethesda Game Studios Dallas has helped largely on Fallout 76 and Starfield. They were actually the people behind most of the Battle Royale.
That's good that he left. I want everyone who worked on Starfield leaving, or, you know, magically vanishing into the ether. Okay? I don't want those people around. Whoever made Starfield and said, yeah, this is good, deserves their Minecraft character deleted.
Mode, and one of the lead writers on Starfield left with Will Shen, also known for their work on...
That is absolutely deplorable and disgusting that anyone actually admits that they wrote the dialogue for Starfield, and I have to instantaneously ask, whoever you are, how much brain damage do you have? Is it like a Guinness World Record at this point?
On Far Harbor, Will Shannon left to join Something Wicked Games, which was created by Jeff Gardner, the previous lead on Fallout 76. So those are the major things giving me reservations, but at the same time, a map expansion is definitely a big deal, and in the wake of Starfield's release, perhaps some extra...
By the way, how bad is the shooting in Fallout 76? Well, I think it's probably... When you see the percentiles, by the way, that is VATS, because VATS are real time now. It just gives you a chance to hit them. Yeah, shooting things through VATS like this constantly is the best way to play this game, because the shooting is really bad.
Manpower opened up, allowing Fallout 76 to finally get the amount of content it deserves. And I mean, frankly, it's not like we have another Fallout game coming out anytime soon, so it would be nice to see Fallout 76 have a bit of a resurgence right now. And one of the other stories to break recently was around more spin-off games. This all comes from Chris Avallone. He was one of the main minds behind Fallout New Vegas, and reportedly, Obsidian had pitched to make another spin-off Fallout game and even a spin-off Elder Scrolls game, but Bethesda rejected their proposals. The story begins in early 2022, right around another wave of Fallout New Vegas 2.
Yeah, I have already heard about this. Essentially, the story here is a lot of companies that have worked previously on the good Fallout games, a lot of companies like Obsidian came and said, hey, we want to do a Fallout spin-off game, are you going to let us? And Todd Howard was, no, Fallout's mine. And there you go. Unironically, a lot of competent, really good people wanted to make Fallout games, Fallout spin-offs, and things of that sort, and Bethesda just said no. And the reason why I think they did that, by the way, is pretty simple. Because if anyone, even remotely not stupid, touches the Fallout franchise and makes something with one eye closed and one hand tied behind their back, they're probably blowing out the last 10 years of Bethesda's existence out the water. So Bethesda will never allow anyone outside of their studio to touch any of their IPs willingly unless Microsoft forces them, because they are afraid to be exposed for being incompetent. This is why they will... Because think about it. Bethesda's best game ever made is Fallout New Vegas. Bethesda didn't make Fallout New Vegas. They literally gave it off to another company and allowed them to make it. Widely considered the best thing Bethesda has ever made, Fallout New Vegas, is not even made by Bethesda, ironically.
Although at the same time, I feel like we do have some legitimate evidence that a remake or remaster may finally be coming. Bethesda has long had a culture of saying no to remakes. We've seen this in interviews for years, and of course, even with some of the more profitable ventures, such as Obsidian, being shut down. But a few months ago...
Well, remakes require effort, but releasing a deluxe edition for Skyrim changing nothing. Now, that does not require effort. So yeah, this sounds very Bethesda-like, not gonna lie.
Microsoft accidentally leaked a bunch of internal Bethesda documents, and it seems like that trend is shifting. As you could see, Bethesda had multiple remasters in the works, or at least in the plans for them. This being remasters of both Oblivion and Fallout 3. So now, you've probably seen this document, but I think the context around it is absolutely vital to understanding this. As this document's from 2020, and specifically, this was drafted up before Microsoft bought Bethesda.
Yeah, the law.
Like this was actually shared during the negotiations as for what Bethesda had in the works at the time. So clearly Bethesda had plans to change their tune and start releasing remasters or remakes. And if anything, Microsoft buying them and then having access to way more manpower makes the likelihood of a remake seem even more likely. Microsoft has had some incredibly well done remakes that actually got new content and extended support, and perhaps the same may be coming from Bethesda. Could you imagine the hype of getting a Fallout 3 remake with mod support on consoles, and Bethesda...
Oh, I don't like Fallout 3, honestly. I think Fallout 3 is the most overhyped Fallout in the series. The baseline Fallout 3, not horrible, but really, really not that good. Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna make a hot take here. I'm gonna say I like probably Fallout 4 more than Fallout 3. With all the problems, with all the obvious fails and entrapments of Fallout 4 and its story, I still probably like it more than 3. Fallout 3 is good, it's playable, but it's kind of dog shit at the same time in a lot of respects. It's Fallout, but it's not the best one, okay? I really want just the Fallout New Vegas again. My golden standard.
Actually releasing some new content for Fallout 3, I feel like that would almost break the Fallout community, both in
New
good
head
way
of Bethesda?
pass. And maybe even the news that dropped earlier today could all tie into this. Jill Braff was just announced as the new head of ZeniMax and Bethesda. It's not entirely clear what this will actually mean for the company, if anything at all.
Hopefully the Todd Howard gets publicly executed at the town square. That's what it hopefully means.
I mean, everything could look almost identical. Previously, Jill Braff was working at Microsoft under integrations and casual games at Xbox, so not entirely sure how that could be related. But yeah, honestly, I think this is one of those changes where we have no idea. Things may look exactly the same, or this could be the start of something and we could genuinely see a shift at the company. But as we look back at these plans for an Oblivion and Fallout 3 remaster, perhaps these really are coming, and maybe they're even being worked on right now. We've seen multiple mentions of some kind of unannounced project coming from Bethesda. And while we do know they have some kind of unannounced mobile project on the way, including...
Oh boy, no one cares about the mobile stuff. Fallout 5, let's see.
Just how far Fallout 5 likely is. For a while, it was thought that Bethesda would finish up Starfield, move on to The Elder Scrolls 6, and then work on Fallout 5. But Todd Howard cleared that all up as he made it clear that Fallout 5 may not be next after The Elder Scrolls 6. They did confirm they have a one-pager over...
Well, technically, I'm not gonna lie, that's not exactly bad news. But again, technically, if they're gonna update Fallout 4 with new gen graphics, then yeah, as I said previously, that just means that Fallout 5 is not even close, boys. What? It's true. There's no point in updating Fallout 4 with next gen graphics, even if you're adding the Creation Club, the paid mods, if you're gonna release Fallout 5. Updating the graphics to next gen is literally a waste of time. Someone may just mod that in at the end of the day. Someone has probably already modded that in fact. So, it makes only sense that Fallout 5 is not coming anytime soon. It is what it is. Anyway, Juicehead, amazing stuff, love it. I will fellatio your Pringles can because of this. Great stuff. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said Sen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.